Atlanta fans, stop what you're doing, because the Falcons just proved something huge. This wasn't just another win. This was a statement. A 34-27 battle against the Commanders that showed exactly who this team is becoming. The question now isn't if the Falcons are real contenders. The question is, are we witnessing the birth of something special in Atlanta? This victory feels sweet, and make no mistake, every single win in the NFL matters. Nothing is ever guaranteed in this league. Week after week, teams rise and fall. But today, the Falcons didn't just win, they fought, they adjusted, and they finished. And here's what made it so powerful. It wasn't just the offense. No, this game belonged to the defense. For years, fans have begged for a unit that could stand tall in big moments. Today, that's exactly what we saw. The defense showed that perfect bend but don't break mentality. You could feel the intensity with every snap. Caden Ellis and Divine Diablo were everywhere, locking down the middle, punishing the run, and shutting down Marcus Mariota before he could escape. Outside of one or two scrambles, Mariota had no room. Every lane was closed. Every throw was contested. Now, let's address the noise. Commanders fans want to talk about injuries. No Jaden Daniels, no Terry McLaurin. I don't care. The Falcons didn't choose the opponent's lineup. They faced the team in front of them, and they executed the game plan. That's football. Last week, Washington didn't have Daniels either, and they still beat the Raiders. Excuses don't win games. Execution does. And let me tell you something, Divine Diablo deserves every ounce of respect. He's been the heartbeat of this defense all season. Run stopping? Check. Pass coverage? Check. Blitzing? He's there too. Wherever the Falcons need him, Diablo is there, flying around the field like a man possessed. Honestly, he might be the best defender Atlanta has had in years, and 2025 is quickly becoming his year. For 3 out of 4 weeks, this defense has been elite. Yes, the offense stumbled once, and it cost them. But when you look at the bigger picture, this unit is consistent, physical, and relentless. And they deserve every single cheer from this fanbase. There was even a scare with Xavier Woods early on, but the defense never flinched. They held their ground, proving that no matter what happens, they can rise up together. Falcons fans, I need to hear from you. After this performance, how confident are you in this defense? Drop your confidence rating in the comments, 1 through 10. Let's see who truly believes this team is turning into something special. When I think back to what I said months ago, it gives me chills. I told everyone, if there's one young player who could turn into a top 3 talent at his position within the next 3 years, it's Xavier Woods. And guess what? Right now, he's already showing us he might get there even faster. Yes, he's a rookie. Yes, sometimes he gets beat in coverage. That's part of the learning curve. But the difference is, Woods doesn't stay down. Every mistake is followed by a big play. He bounces back, he attacks the ball, and he makes sure the next snap belongs to him. And then came the moment that changed everything, his interception in the end zone. That play flipped the entire game. The Commanders thought they had momentum, but Woods shut the door. That single turnover was the spark that turned the Falcons' defense into a wall. It was the exact kind of moment that separates a good rookie from a future star. And credit has to go beyond the players too. Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich deserve a massive shout-out. Week after week, they bring game plans that allow this defense to play fast and physical. They know how to get the most out of their guys, and it shows. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This defense wasn't perfect. They still gave up 27 points, and a lot of that pain came from one weak spot, D. Alford. Every fan watching could see it. He was getting beat again and again. Off the line, deep routes, short routes, it didn't matter. By the end, it felt like every big Commanders play was happening right in his coverage. And let's be honest, this is why the Falcons need A.J. Terrell back so badly. With Terrell on the field, receivers are locked down. Without him, teams are targeting Alford on nearly every snap, and the results aren't pretty. Early touchdown, late touchdowns, big plays, It was rough to watch. But here's the thing, football doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need perfection to win. What you need is grit. You need playmakers like what's stepping up in clutch moments, and a defense that finds ways to get off the field when it matters most. That's exactly what the Falcons did. If I had to grade this performance, I'd call it a strong B+. It wasn't flawless, but it didn't need to be. The secondary, outside of Alford, was sticky in coverage. Receivers barely had room to breathe. This defense showed heart, fight, and resilience. And in the NFL, that's what wins you games. Falcons fans, I want to know what you think. Is Xavier what's already the future star of this defense? Drop a yes or a no in the comments, and tell me your grade for this performance. Was it an A, B, C, or worse? Let's hear it. So let's answer the big question. Why did the Falcons come away with this win? It wasn't luck. It wasn't flukes. It was because, for the first time in weeks, this offense had a real identity. Before kickoff, I said it loud and clear, pick an identity. I don't care what it is, just pick one and stick to it. And finally, Zach Robinson listened. The Falcons came in with a plan, and they executed it with fire. It started on the ground. That 1-2 punch of Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson kept the Commanders guessing all game. Every carry had purpose. Every drive felt balanced. And once the defense started creeping up to stop the run, that's when the Falcons went over the top. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Michael Penix Jr., all three of them stepped up in a huge way. London looked unstoppable. 8 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown that had the crowd roaring. Kyle Pitts finally looked like the game-changing tight end we've been waiting to see. 5 grabs, 70 yards, and his own score. These are the kind of numbers you expect from your stars, and they delivered. And then there's the quarterback. Michael Penix Jr. had his bounce-back game. All week long, people doubted him. All week long, the narrative was that maybe he wasn't the guy. But today, he shut that all down. He went 20 for 26, threw for 313 yards, tossed 2 touchdowns, and made just one mistake, that interception. Other than that, he was in complete command. You could feel his confidence coming back, snap after snap. And let's be clear about something. Michael Penix Jr. was never the problem. One bad game doesn't define a quarterback. What defines you is how you respond. And today, he showed everyone why he belongs in this league. But if we're talking MVP of this game, it has to be Bijan Robinson. He's not just a running back. He's the heartbeat of this offense. Without him, this pistol formation that Zach Robinson loves to run doesn't work. But with Bijan, it becomes dangerous. He ran with patience, vision, and strength. He finished with 75 yards, a rushing touchdown, and averaged over 4 yards a carry. And that doesn't even include what he does in the passing game, where Penix clearly leans on him as a safety valve and explosive playmaker. Bijan is the guy who turns good drives into great ones. He's the guy who makes defensive coordinators panic. He's the guy who forces teams to respect every inch of the field. And today, once again, he proved why he's the centerpiece of this offense. Finally, let's give some credit to Zach Robinson. Moving him down to the field clearly helped. He's still got a lot of questionable play calls, no doubt about it. Even the CBS broadcast pointed out that when the Falcons line up in the pistol, 80% of the time they're running the football. That predictability has to change. But still, this game showed growth. For the first time, there was balance. There was rhythm. There was an identity. And that's why the Falcons won this football game. Falcons fans, I want your voice on this. Who was the true MVP today? Was it Penix with his big-time bounce back? Was it Bijan carrying the load? Or was it London or Pitts finally breaking out? Drop your MVP in the comments. I want to see where this fanbase stands. Let me be real here. If the CBS broadcast crew can predict what you're about to run before the ball is even snapped, that's a problem. That's not strategy, that's predictability. And in the NFL, predictability gets you burned. Zach Robinson dialed up 37 plays from the pistol today. 37. That's not balance. That's a pattern defenses can sniff out from a mile away. And yes, it worked against Washington. Yes, it helped the Falcons control the game. But let's not pretend this will fly every week. Because if you walk into another matchup and call the same stuff, you're going to get embarrassed. We already saw it happen against Carolina. One slip, one predictable game plan, and suddenly you're staring at a loss that fans don't forget. So here's the truth: today looked good. Today showed growth. Today showed identity. But it also showed how much further this team has to go. There were multiple chances to slam the door on Washington, to put the game away for good, and the Falcons couldn't do it. That's the next step: learning not just how to win, but how to finish. Zach Robinson deserves credit for sticking to a plan and giving this offense some rhythm, but he's still on the hot seat in my eyes. I'm not ready to let him off the hook. This league adjusts quickly. If the Falcons don't adjust with it, the next opponent will expose them. Here's the bottom line: a win is a win, and this one matters. It puts the Falcons at 2-2 heading into the bye week. Not perfect, not spectacular, but steady. And steady is exactly what this young team needs right now. They've shown fight, they've shown growth, and they've shown flashes of the future. Now the question is simple: will they keep building on this? Or will they fall back into old habits when the season gets tougher? Falcons fans, I need your take. Do you trust Zach Robinson to keep growing as a play caller? Or do you think this offense needs a fresh mind calling the shots? Drop your answer below, because this debate is only getting started.